Hello everyone, my name is Asif Hamidullah from the Global Certification Forum. At the GCF, I lead some of the certification activities for various IoT programs and GCF support of new verticals. And I'm very happy to be here today to talk to you a little bit about the GCF OneM2M Certification Program that we launched recently in 2019. So for those of you who may not be familiar with who GCF is, I just wanted to give a bit of a background on the organization. We are a nonprofit organization founded in 1999 that is composed of some of the Tier 1 mobile network operators, device manufacturers, test labs, test equipment vendors, and other participants from the test industry, who are all members of our organization. Currently, we have over 300 plus members worldwide, all working together to develop and manage the certification criteria for mobile devices. And GCF is globally recognized as providing the quality mark for interoperability between devices and networks. Our certification is based on test cases that are defined by various different standards development organizations, or SDOs, including 3GPP, OneM2M, GSMA, OMA, NFC Forum, and the CTIA. In recent times, we have been engaging other industry organizations from various different verticals in the IoT space to ensure that we're able to address some of the specific needs and requirements for product certification in those specific areas. And we'll go into more detail on some of those in the subsequent slides. This slide just highlights some of the industry partners that we work very closely with. Obviously, we have a very close relationship with 3GPP, as the core GCF certification is based on 3GPP RAN 5 work items as we moved from 3G to 4G and now 5G work items. We do have a very close relationship with GSMA as well. Our field trials certification program is reliant on GSMA specifications. And of course, we have a partnership with OneM2M with regards to OneM2M certification. And in recent times, we have been very closely engaged with the 5GAA for automotive certification, TCCA for mission critical, and other organizations like the 450 Alliance. With respect to certification, GCF actually has a very streamlined three-step process to certify a product, labeled Test, Certify, Connect. Step 1, or test, is when a manufacturer brings their product to the GCF, identifying what features and functionality that product supports. Working with the assessment capable entity, the manufacturer would determine what specific test cases are applicable for the certification of that product, and then going to a recognized test organization to execute the actual test cases. Once the testing is done, the manufacturer moves on to step 2, certify. This is where they make an online declaration for their product, complying to all of the requirements and testing needed for that particular certification. The certification process is available 24/7, 365 days a year, so the manufacturer can submit these declarations at their leisure. And the great news is GCF doesn't charge any certification fee for a manufacturer to certify a product. So a manufacturer can certify one product or multiple products in a given calendar year without incurring any additional fees. The only fee the manufacturer pays to GCF is their annual membership fee. The third step, or connect, is once the declaration has been made and the product is considered certified. Now the manufacturer can take that product and commercialize it in various regions around the world where GCF is accepted. So while GCF has been focused on in the past 3G, 4G, and now 5G certification of mobile devices, smartphones, tablets, etc., we know that in the ever-changing landscape, there are more and more different types of connected products coming onto mobile networks. And the next frontier for certification is really in the IoT space. So the GCF has been preparing to extend its state-of-the-art certification program framework to support multiple new verticals. And these are devices that can be connected in someone's home to large-scale industrial IoT or smart city-enabled devices. Well, we're all familiar with the projected growth of IoT. I believe the statistic of 25 billion devices by 2025 is something that the industry has been projecting, and cellular IoT making up a significant chunk of these connections. We also have newer technologies that are helping this trend, including AI, machine learning, big data, and of course data analytics that many of the service providers are looking to capitalize on to better understand their target markets. And along with radio technologies like 5G and NB-IoT Cat-M, we feel that at the application layer, technologies like OneM2M will play an increasing role in the growth in the IoT space. To prepare for this explosive growth in the IoT space, GCF has been looking at extending its best-in-class certification framework to support these new IoT verticals. We started this several years back with eSIM certification, which is a standalone certification program for remote SIM provisioning that was co-developed with the GSMA. And of course, most recently with the OneM2M Certification Program that was launched in July of 2019. We are currently investigating a CV2X standalone certification scheme with the 5GAA and are very close to launching a consumer IoT security accreditation program, again leveraging this GCF IT framework and best practices. We expect these verticals to grow and certification requirements to be unique for each of these different verticals. So by leveraging this state-of-the-art IT and certification framework, we feel confident that going forward, GCF will be able to support the needs of these unique IoT verticals from a certification perspective. So let's talk about OneM2M certification specifically. As mentioned, GCF launched OneM2M Release 1 certification back in July of 2019. We are currently very close to launching Release 2 certification. We're sort of in the final stages of completing the work items and getting ready to activate this in certification, hopefully in Q4 2020 or at latest early 2021. Recently, we also had Release 3 work item proposals being approved, and so now development of these work items are now underway at the IAG. The IAG is, of course, the Internet of Things Agreement Group within the GCF that is responsible for all IoT work items. And unlike the GCF core certification program, the OneM2M certification program is open to both GCF members and non-members. So essentially, any company that wants to certify a OneM2M product can come to the GCF and go through the process to get their product certified. And these products can be certified as part of a normal GCF certification, which is a device that supports OneM2M plus other features and functions that are part of the existing GCF criteria, or they can be certified as OneM2M only. And a dedicated portal has been established for OneM2M certifications, so I would urge everyone to go to onem2m.globalcertificationforum.org to find out more information on how the program works. In terms of certification scope, the OneM2M certification is focused on the application and service layer functionality of OneM2M protocols. And we are referencing the following test specifications from OneM2M in our program. So TS13, which covers interoperability testing, is one aspect of certification. And then TS17, 18, and 19 cover the conformance testing, which is the second aspect of certification. And both these parts of the program rely on the TS15 and the TS25, which forms the basic essence of how certification testing is done. The target devices that are supported are application entities and common service entities, so this covers the entire value chain on the OneM2M ecosystem. And these products are covering both application nodes, middle nodes, infrastructure nodes, covering both hardware and software components. GCF is supporting two models for certification of OneM2M products. One is if a manufacturer wants to certify OneM2M as part of an overall GCF certification. This is on the left-hand side, in which case they would go to globalcertificationforum.org, log in as a member, and submit their device declarations for all applicable work items, i.e. not just OneM2M, but any other 3GPP, for example, related features that they support on the product. And then they would do that testing at a recognized test organization, which are labs that are supporting GCF testing, and then certify the product. So this is a standard model by which all GCF certification is done. So in this case, you'd have a GCF certification that includes OneM2M. The other model on the right-hand side is the standalone certification procedure, which is just certifying OneM2M functionality only. In this case, the product manufacturer would go to the OneM2M standalone certification portal, log in, focus only on the OneM2M work items that are in play, do the testing at a recognized test organization that supports the testing of OneM2M, and then get certified for OneM2M. And once the product is certified, it's listed in the database and as well as listed on the public portal. In order to support the OneM2M certification program, the GCF is leveraging the use of assessment capable entities and recognized test organizations. Assessment capable entities, or ACEs, are third-party organizations that are available to work with the manufacturer directly to determine the overall scope of certification for a particular product. So in the case of OneM2M, an ACE can help a product manufacturer identify, based on the product profile supported, what specific test cases need to be executed for both conformance testing and interoperability testing. Once you have that information, the product manufacturer can then go to a recognized test organization, or RTO, that is a GCF recognized test lab that meet the requirements for testing laboratories that are authorized to execute test cases for both conformance, interoperability, and/or field trial environment. And the RTO executes the test cases as per the test plan that is developed by the ACE. So this is a snapshot of the latest status of the OneM2M work items in the GCF. We have two work items, work item 291 and 292, relating to conformance testing and interoperability testing of release 1 that is already active in certification. This is what we launched with in July of 2019. And two additional work items, work item 314 and 315, again related to conformance and interoperability testing for release 2 that is in its final stages. With the interoperability testing, that is ready to go. And with conformance testing, we're in that last stage of test platform validation, upon which, once those platforms are validated, the program can have this activated in certification, and a product manufacturer can then come to any GCF recognized test organization that supports OneM2M testing and execute their products against these test cases that are covered in 314 and 315. With respect to release 3, we recently approved in September 2020 a work item proposal to get started on Release 3 conformance and interoperability testing, and that is currently actively being developed in the IAG. And our target time frame for completing those work items is the late first half of 2021, upon which we're hoping to activate that in certification shortly after that. As mentioned earlier, we have a dedicated OneM2M certification portal for those companies who are purely looking at certifying OneM2M and not other aspects of GCF certification criteria. So this is open to both members and non-members of GCF. The product certifiers just need to create an account to gain access to the documentation and access to the process required to certify a product. And you can go to onem2m.globalcertificationforum.org to create an account and get access to the site. The portal contains documents, including list of required conformance and interoperability test cases. And these test cases are updated on a quarterly basis as we review the changes in the standard and changes in the work items themselves and keep these updated. We also have the certification guidelines on how to go about the route to certification, and as well as information on which recognized test organizations and assessment capable entities are available to support you in getting certification done. So I would highly recommend anyone interested in certification of OneM2M to go to this portal, register, create an account. At least you can stay abreast of all of the new activities that are happening in this space and can plan for the certification of your product when the time is ready. Once a product is certified, it's listed on the portal. So this is an example of how some of the product listings are shown. So it identifies what scheme the product has undergone, who the manufacturer is, what the name of the product is, the primary function of the product, and which product profiles it supports. It also provides the certification version and the date of certification, as well as a link to the manufacturer's website should they choose to provide that. So this information will be publicly available, and it's a good way for product manufacturers to showcase their certified product to the world. So this slide depicts the certification process call flow that takes place once a OneM2M certifier accesses the portal. So the first step is to go to the dedicated portal, sign the user agreement, and get login credentials. This allows access to the portal. And once you're in the portal, you're able to view the list of RTOs, ACEs, download any documentation required for certification, and just in general understand the process for certifying a product. Having done that, the next step would be to submit the supported features documents, including the ICS, IXAT documents, and any other documents the RTO requires in order to generate this test plan based on the feature sets supported. And the RTO then does that test plan and executes the test and provides the test report back to the OneM2M certifier, who is then able to then submit the declaration and update their compliance folder. Once this documentation is submitted by the product manufacturer, the product is considered certified and is listed both on the portal and public website. And of course, the product manufacturer can download the GCF certificate. One of the many questions we are often asked is, how much does it cost to certify a OneM2M product? While the testing costs or fees are strictly between the product manufacturer and recognized test organization, GCF does not charge any certification related fees for OneM2M Release 1 or Release 2. However, beginning with Release 3, starting in 2021, we are looking at applying some fees for non-members, and this will specifically be applicable for an initial certification of a Release 3 product or for an update of a certification for a Release 1 or Release 2 product to a Release 3 product. The table indicates the fee per certification per device for various different OneM2M nodes: infrastructure node, middle node, application service node, and application dedication node. There will be no fee updates to the certification within the same release, and fees can be paid in euros, US dollars, or pound sterling. Looking forward, as we move on from release 2 to release 3 and in the future release 4, we see that there is a lot of interdependencies between OneM2M and 3GPP, specifically with some of the interworking work items that are being introduced in release 3 and release 4. GCF is preparing for this by investing in the future of IoT with 5G investments. And 5G enables vertical industries and will increase the complexity of the work items for certification for massive IoT deployments. As 3GPP RAN 5 develops 5G in our work items, GCF is ready to ensure that our certification programs will incorporate these neural layer, radio layer technologies, specifically in release 16 and 17 and onwards, and further work in the application layer and interworking between 3GPP and OneM2M with a specific view for industrial IoT needs, automotive, smart city, and IoT service experience will be investigated. So rest assured, the future with GCF and the certification of OneM2M is secure. Lastly, I would like to highlight that GCF is attending the following upcoming events. We are hosting a GCF MENA workshop virtually 23rd to 24th November. We'll also be attending the GSMA Thrive LATAM event 1st to 3rd December and the India Mobile Congress 8th to 10th December. We will be showcasing many of our products at these events, including OneM2M, so we'd invite you to register and join us, find out more about the progress of some of these programs that we're supporting. We've also indicated how you can follow us on an ongoing basis on the web and social media. So our website, globalcertificationforum.org, as well as the dedicated OneM2M portal, is always updated with the latest and greatest information. And we also have indicated our Twitter handle, Facebook, and LinkedIn pages. So please go to those sites, subscribe, and follow us in that way. So I'd like to thank you again for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about the OneM2M certification program at GCF. If you have any questions or would like further information, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact details are listed here on the slide. And of course, more information can be found at the Global Certification Forum website, as well as the dedicated portal for OneM2M certification. Thank you, and hope everyone stays safe.